All right, Trav.
Yep.
So the big news for the Patriots, turmoil in the quarterback room.
Turmoil?
Not really.
I was like, that is clickbait.
Joe Milton traded from the Patriots to the Cowboys. Joe Milton and a 4th-round pick for the 5th-round pick from Dallas, 174 overall. Joe Milton was a 6th-round pick a year ago, counted one.
I counted.
NFL game.
Yeah.
Won the game with the Patriots, cost them the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, really? It was Joe Milton's fault?
And dude, you were the one of crediting him to be a successful quarterback that you should develop because how he played in that game.
Yeah, but you're blaming Joe Milton for doing his job? Blame Gerard Mayo. That's whose fault it was.
It's Joe Milton and a 7th-round pick for a 5th. I misspoke earlier.
Okay.
Now Joe Milton's in Dallas.
Ugh.
Patriots quarterback room's Drake May and Josh Dobbs.
Oh.
We saw Ian Rappaport tweeting about the deal. Jordan Schultz putting out the report that there were better offers, but the Patriots respected Joe Milton and wanted to send him somewhere where he wanted to be, so they sent him to Dallas. That's my biggest issue. There it is from Jordan Schultz. Understanding since Joe Milton became available at the start of the offseason, team showed interest, including the Raiders, who have Geno Smith but need a backup. Eagles lost Kenny Pickett, kind of need a backup, don't really need a long-term solution. Giants don't need it. Steelers, yes. And Cowboys. The Patriots had a better offer for Milton, but chose to send him where he wanted out of respect for him. The Patriots, out of respect for a former 6th-round pick that played one game in the NFL. Hey, man, respect it. We'll send you to Dallas.
Don't sleep on doing right by the player, though. These guys talk. Joe Milton starts spouting off at the mouth that, well, they sent me to Siberia. I hate it here. That guys care about
Pittsburgh
that.
Pittsburgh with DK Metcalf and George Pickens.
Well, I'm just saying they did right by him.
New
That's
York
a good thing.
With Malik Neighbors.
That matters big picture. Don't poo-poo that.
It's Joe Milton. You got to do what's best for the team.
Why are you so disrespectful to Joe?
The Patriots are in a rebuild.
That's why they should have kept him, George.
But they need the picks now. They keep them. That won't be a draft pick till next draft, most likely.
Right. Okay, so we're having two different conversations. Let's start where we agree. This was premature to trade him. Everything you're giving me here feels like you agree with that.
I feel
it was premature.
Them trading him for only a 5th shows what they were hearing around the league, too, because obviously they're in talks with a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And let's say they hold him after the draft. Let's say a quarterback gets injured. They trade him in August for a 4th. Okay, that's equal to a 5th. Because if you go with a future pick, like a future 4th, at that point would be the upcoming draft of that one. Whoever you're trading him with, that team would get better. So it'd be equal to a 5th. It was never going to be a 3rd. He would have had to play a significant amount of games and really shown flashes. Backup quarterbacks, this kind of goes for the price of what you'd see. I just think it would have been good for them to hold on to him because I would have taken that 4th in an upcoming draft over a 5th in this current one.
Okay, so we agree there. I have different reasonings for agreeing with you. I personally think you hold on to him. You continue to do what you've been doing. Develop the kid. Let him play in the preseason. Let him, if Drake May gets hurt for 2 or 3 games or whatever, bring him in. Let him play. Let him ball. I am giving him the benefit of the doubt that he would continue to develop and do great in a Josh McDaniels system and all that. And then if you wanted to trade him down the line because you wanted to avoid a quarterback controversy or potential, then that's different. But then you're going to get a better pick because there's a larger sample size. Here's where we disagree vehemently. I think you are disrespectful to him, the player, and the prospect. And it actually upsets me with you because I call you GM George. There is no bigger football nerd when it comes to prospects than you. George is the type to be like, yo, Trav, there's this kid in middle school. Keep your eye out. He's going to be a 5-star. And I'm like, bro, he's 13. Why are you talking to me about this kid? Talk to me when he's getting drafted. But that's how deep George is into this stuff. This kid, Joe Milton, is 6'5", 250 pounds, can run like a deer, can throw a football over those mountains. I lost money betting on this kid at Tennessee. You know why? Not because of any of the things I just laid out. It's because his decision-making was dog shack, okay? But isn't that why you take a flyer on a freak athlete built like Megatron like him in the 6th round? Because, coach is coach. You know what I'm saying? Develop the kid. You had Gerard Mayo and the Bad News Bears as a coaching staff. This was one of the worst coaching staffs ever assembled in the history of the world, Craig. And what did he do? He went out there and he looked decent. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, it was the Bills JV team. I don't give a damn. That's not Joe Milton's problem. Whether he's playing on all Madden or all rookies, not my concern. He did what he was supposed to do. He showed you flashes. He showed you why you took him in the 6th round. He looked in command to me. He looked like he made good decisions to me. And that was with a moron for a coaching staff, okay? Now he has Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel. And you just, what? You give up on him for what? I mean, they essentially broke even. This was rushed. I don't know why there was such this push to do this now. Let him play. Keep developing him. He's not making any money. We just did a whole segment on the Red Sox printing money. The Patriots are not paying this kid anything, or Drake May right now. What's the problem? And then you get Josh Dobbs. Like, I mean, sure, if I want a rocket ship to go to the moon, bring me Josh Dobbs. If I want a quarterback on my team, I'm not interested. He's mediocre at best. This kid's Joe Milton's ceiling could have been special, and then you could have traded him or whatevs. I think they rushed this, and it was the wrong decision. Thank God he's with the Cowboys, so they can either screw it up or he can be great, and we don't have to worry about it.
Out of sight, screw it up.
Out of sight, out of mind. You're disrespectful to the guy. I'm telling you,
it's the Cowboys.
Oh,
They.
All right.
He, not he.
Fine.
They.
But listen.
Right.
If he goes to the Steelers, he could rip your heart right out of your chest. So thank God he's in the NFC, out of sight, out of mind. But I think this was a mistake.
He was a volatile lottery ticket. You got your scratch ticket. Lottery ticket's really popular around my family around the Christmas time. Shocker, we're Lebanese.
You give them for gifts.
You get one,
I respect
like
that.
Rules have been implemented.
Yeah.
In the like White Elephant Secret Santa.
Yeah.
No lottery tickets. Get something. Put some thought behind it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're good. Fun fact: one time I almost did the swap with my grandmother-in-law. I said, "Let me see those lottery tickets, Tata." And then I was like, "You know what? First time, I'm not doing that. I'm still new to this. I give it back."
Oh.
They didn't. Nothing was in them.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I thought you were going to say it was a Powerball.
I mean, that would have been great. It would have benefited her granddaughter. Anyhow, you scratch one, you scratch two. You're like, oh, it's two of a kind. Scratch three. And they're like, all right, do I want to give this to Trav? I spent $1 on this lottery ticket. Let me give it to Trav for $4. But he has to be the one to figure out scratching the last two. That's essentially what the Patriots did with this one. Gain $2. We could go get 3 lottery tickets.
Yeah.
Up our chances of something that we need.
Yeah.
Like in the pick 174 range, that's Pat Bryant out of Illinois, big body receiver, really good with contested catches, physical type of player, and put out massive input at Illinois too with not the best quarterback situation. Or they get a depth piece on their defensive line, depth piece on their offensive line, which they need in the trenches. Like that's the range it puts them in. Depth in the wide receiving room or offensive defensive line. But that's what they basically did with this one, where I get it, but they go, okay, before we scratch the 4th and 5th one,
sure,
and this could be worth nothing, let's move it now, and let's get something to benefit us right now.
I guess. Can we go back to the lottery for a half a second?
Yeah,
this is just random thoughts that popped into my mind. You know how, like, I don't get how in our country we don't have money for anything right now, right? But yet, if you win the Powerball, like, you can buy the Celtics. Like, how does that work? I don't understand how everything else, there's no money. Oh, we're in all these dire straits. You see the price of eggs? But if you hit the Powerball, it's all the money in the world. How does that work? I don't know how the lottery system works. Do you? You play it so damn much.
It's our money. It's the people that buy the tickets.
It just goes into the pot? Like, you can't
Imagine 1 week the government. I mean,
can we tear up the lottery?
Oh.
Like, can we tear up the lottery? What is this? You can hit $6 billion.
That does happen.
It does?
It's either
well, once you win.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
it's like 40%.
I'm saying we need a salary cap on the lottery is what I'm saying. You understand? Allocate the funds to some other things.
And then once it hits the cap, anything else that comes in.
See?
Yeah.
See what we're doing? We are solving the world's problem.
If that is what leads to expanding Storo, Route 1, and fixing the T in Boston, I'm all for it.
Don't forget the potholes.
Yes, exactly that too. Potholes filled, expanding lanes, less traffic, better public transportation system. I'd be all for it.
So we'd have a modern grid instead of the
hour 10 minutes to get from the North Shore to Watertown.
No.
For me. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, tough, man. So yeah, if we take that, I'd be all for it.
Now, what were we talking about? Listen, in all seriousness, I'm not acting like Joe Milton's the next coming of Tom Brady.
But there could have been better business done.
Well, Brady was drafted in 6th round.
It's not that.
They didn't give up on Tom.
But they drafted Drake May, number 4 overall.
Didn't give up on Tom.
And what you talked about of his decision-making, that's a thing. That's what you need in the NFL. You can be the more athletic guy. You can be the man amongst boys. You can have the bigger arm.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's decision-making. And what the modern-day NFL is, they're not going to give up 70-yard shots. Patrick Mahomes had one of the lowest air yards per attempt last season. Like Daniel Jones-esque range, and got the team Super Bowl because he takes what the defense gives him.
Sure.
Drake May, with all that arm strength he has, what he needs right now is guys that can win intermediate to short yardage and over the middle of the field.
Yeah.
That's what quarterbacks do. And again, Drake May with his processing, whenever I would go back and watch the games, I would be baffled by the reads he would make. Mm-hmm. The deep ball accuracy down the field or along the sidelines he would have, the tight windows he could fit it in, and just literally how quickly he's picking up the NFL playbook now, him with Josh McDaniels. Mm-hmm. But as you have that room constructed, Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown as the passing game coordinator, Todd Downing, the wide receivers coach, Ashton Grant as a QB coach, McDaniels, you have a branch off the Sean McVay coaching tree, Todd Downing, you have a branch off the Kevin Stefanski, Kevin O'Connell coaching tree. Then you bring in a Josh Dobbs who has played in that system and has familiarity with that too to help Drake May acclimate to this pro style. When you give Josh Dobbs $3.8 million guaranteed, the second that happened and go, that's a backup quarterback. I'm waiting for Joe Milton to get
You called it then. You called it then.
I never got
happen.
my
You just
hopes
thought
high.
It would be later than now.
Yeah, and I never got my hopes high on the return. Because again, I could want him to hold on. They'd get a 4th round pick.
Yeah.
If they make this 5th round pick work,
yeah,
where it's someone that could be a good backup, which is as crazy as it sounds, in a weak draft, non-deep draft of high-end talent, that's what the 5th and 6th rounds are. Can you find those gems? Like Puka Nacua was a 5th round pick.
Right.
But that's an anomaly. But if the Patriots can get someone that can work as a swing tackle, someone that can work as a backup offensive tackle, not DeMontre Jacobs or Vidarian Lowe, then this trade is worth it. It's all about what do they do with it. And it could be the trade before the trade. Got a couple 5ths. Does it get you to the 4th?
Yeah, does it? Yeah, you can move things around.
With a 5th,
well,
get
a lot
into
of
the 3rd.
You and I did our own mock draft. You could check out on Foxborough Rush. But look, I see a lot of mock drafts out there, and we have had this conversation where the Patriots could trade back into the back end of the first round. You pick at 4, but then you also come back on the back end of the first round and try and get another, high-end player, to your point. Maybe all that happens. I don't know. But for everything you said about the surrounding pieces, coaches-wise, for the development of Drake May, mm-hmm. I just feel like I wish Joe Milton had the same opportunity, and he didn't. And I hate that for him because I would like to see the same type of development for him as well. And it's not against Drake May. I don't want this to come across as though I don't believe in the kid. I definitely do. And I do think he's a franchise quarterback. But even saying the Joe Milton trade was premature, I think it's premature to stamp Drake May a franchise quarterback as well, not because of his development, so to speak, but because your offensive line sucks. I mean, can I be more clear? You haven't done anything as of yet to improve your offensive line. All we talked about all offseason was Ronnie Stanley this. That didn't work. Cam Robinson that. That didn't work. You didn't do anything. And now we're here practically, feels like days away from the NFL draft. And every mock draft I see, and I get it, it's mock, but every mock I see has the Patriots taking Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter if they're still there at 4, which I'm all for too. But guess what you're not doing? Addressing your offensive line, bruh. Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks get concussed all the time in this league. What happens if all of a sudden Drake May goes out with this putrid offensive line again, which we saw him get banged up in his rookie year because his offensive line was putrid? What happens if he gets nicked up all year? And yeah, it's easy to say, well, Josh Dobbs is a decent backup with the system, like you said. Mm-hmm. Fine. But I'm talking long-term, big picture. You think the Dolphins don't worry about Tua and that contract they gave him? I'm not saying Drake May is going to deal with the Tua concussions, but he may. We don't know. So that's my thing. I'm not so quick to want to give away a young, dynamic really good project with a lot of potential at quarterback, the most valuable position in all of sports.
Yeah.
They do not grow on trees. Look how many teams think they do, and they blow it every year. You think the Browns are happy with their situation? You think Raiders fans are happy with I think it's just premature. In theory, I get it, but I would have waited to have a bigger sample size and to try and get back a better return, or I would have just kept the kid and let him keep developing behind Drake May just in case something happens to Drake May. Big picture.
Joe Milton was taken in the 6th round.
Yep.
Started the last game of the season.
Yep.
Beat the Bills. Now, I point more to that Jets win, 25-22 is what cost them the first rounder, but, fate was in their hands. Cost them the number 1 overall pick, where they could have gotten Travis Hunter, which they need desperately, and they may not get him or Abdul Carter, depending how this draft goes. Is Joe Milton one of the most detrimental draft picks in Patriots history?
Oh, God. Here you go.
I say no. I say N'Keal Harry, because that's a N'Keal Harry you took over a Deebo Samuel. A N'Keal Harry that they took over some elite receivers like a DK Metcalf too.
So we're going to put Joe Milton on one of the worst draft picks in Patriots history. This is what we're doing. This is happening.
Yeah.
Man, I need a drink.
I think it's that draft class overall 2019 is absolutely putrid. Max Crosby went in the 4th round. You look at these picks that they were making.
I need a drink.
And what the Patriots did, Damian Harris, who's okay for a couple years. CJ Gardner-Johnson. Cole Strange, 2022.
That's worse than Joe Milton, dog.
They could have gotten Trent McDuffie at 21. Or stuck and gotten a Jermaine Johnson, a Tyler Linderbaum. Instead, they traded back to Cole Strange over George Karlaftis, over Breece Hall, over Jalen Petrie.
Am I in an alternate
Kenneth
universe
Walker
right now?
I'm just saying.
What are you saying? Be definitive. This is the worst Patriots draft pick ever, Joe Milton.
No, I'm
really?
not. I'm not saying that. I think N'Keal Harry or Cole Strange are worse.
But this is the 3rd.
It could be up there. Look, I just want to have this convo with you. I like talking drafts.
Can I say one thing?
Isaiah Wynn in 2018. God.
We get it. Let me tell you this.
People wonder.
I want this on tape.
Why Belichick was eventually told to leave.
I want this on
Look at
tape.
these drafts.
If this kid goes to Dallas or wherever and becomes a star, you haven't heard the last of me.
But
I will let all of y'all know. Is there any Joe Milton love in New England at all? Because I'm telling you right now, pick your side. If I'm on my own, if I'm on an island for Joe Milton, that's fine.
Yeah.
What else is new? Everyone always disagrees with me. But let this boy go somewhere, whether it's Dallas or wherever, and become a star. Oh, you will not hear the end of it. I'm telling you, it's only there's 2 ways to make me unsufferable with this team right now in this rebuild. Yeah. If Joe Milton becomes a star, I'm going to go crazy. And if draft night comes, George, Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter are available at 4, and this team turns in their draft card, and it's Membu or Will Campbell or some other lineman I've never heard of, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it.
But if they do that,
I'm going to lose it.
While you're on Joe Milton Island, where you got rubbing sticks together to get a fire started, you're hanging out with Wilson.
I'll be cast away now.
I'll be across the sandbar on my private island, Drake May Island. Because that's it, with all of, and that's why they have the ability to do this.
Yeah, because of Drake.
Yes.
I get it.
That's with all of this, they have Drake effing May.
Just saying, bro. Concussions happen all the time, bro.
And
blown knees happen all the time, bro.
So you should hold on to every asset.
Not for a while, yes. I'm not one of those dudes. I'm not saying his whole career he's got to back up Drake May. I get it. But this is a little early.
If you operate in the fear business of what if this happens, you're not going to get anywhere.
Okay.
You gotta have stones. You gotta make moves.
I hope he sucks. I'm telling you.
You go on your.
You will never hear that. You know I'm petty too. You
take
know
your
I'm
victory
petty.
lap. Again, I will just be like, cool, awesome, great.
Good for the kid.
Drake May.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what it goes back to every time. I won't be that upset by it. I won't be upset at all.
I will lose it.
there is and I'll be critical of the decision makers. They know more than us.
True.
He was traded for only a 5th-round pick for a reason.
Yeah, and the rumors are he wanted out too. We need to also throw that out there. The rumors. Allegedly, he wanted out because he knew he wasn't going to play.
When they signed Josh Dobbs, I said it. This is a needed move because you have a backup quarterback that thinks he should be a starter, which is fine.
Yes.
But you need a backup quarterback to buy into the role of being a mentor and another coach.
Yeah.
That's Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
For Drake May. You need to put all the eggs in the basket of what supports Drake May the best. Now, that could have been a better draft pick if you waited, but they need to have the urgency to take advantage of that now.
Yeah.
Because they have 4 years of cost control left for Drake May. And we'll see, again, the move before the move.
Sure.
Celtics traded Marcus Smart before Malcolm Brogdon. I was
right.
like, what are they doing? And I'm like, there's no way they go into the season with Malcolm Brogdon as their leading point guard. There's another move going down. Well, we found out Brogdon didn't pass a physical. Grizzlies stepped in. They wanted Marcus Smart. That's what got Kristaps Porzingis. Then Malcolm Brogdon becomes a Drew Holiday. They get a ring.
I get it. Urgency.
Not all the cards are done being shuffled and put down.
Urgency for Josh Dobbs. Urgency for Stephon Diggs. No urgency in the offensive line. I just find it peculiar. Joe Milton was the least of your issues. I just find it peculiar. That's all.
All right, next we'll do a 5th-round mock. Just a 5th round.
Oh, God. I think...
all 32 picks.
I'm getting a cough. I may be off that day.
Yep. There we go.